William H. Klingner. As the first college-educated engineer within a 50 to 75-mile radius of this area, the late Bill Klingner, founder of Klingner and Associates, touched the lives of almost every resident living in the tri-state area, even though most don't know it. In the span of a 60-year career, he designed flood control projects, established water, sewer, and wastewater treatment systems, developed parks and playgrounds, and directed completion of Quincy Municipal Airport, among many other projects. Klingner graduated from the University of Missouri with a degree in engineering in 1936 and established W.H. Klingner and Associates in 1949. A founding member of the Upper Mississippi Flood Control Association, Klingner served as consulting engineer for approximately 25 drainage districts in Illinois, Missouri, and Iowa from 1936 to the time of his death. For 40 years, he testified annually in Washington, D.C. to federal river resource and infrastructure committees. He was involved in the original survey work for Lock and Dam 21. Klingner's interest in river issues resulted in a unique understanding and appreciation of the Mississippi River's history, its problems, and its possibilities. Many of his projects were designed to improve farmland because he valued agriculture as the real economic engine of our area.
Beyond the immediate Quincy area, many of the small communities around this area benefited from his expertise with the development of their infrastructure, their water systems and wastewater systems, which many of them did not have public water supplies or public sewer systems, and he designed them and got them built, and as a result, people take that for granted these days, but it vastly improved the health and safety of the people who live in those communities.
A child of the Depression years, Klingner led by example and had high standards for himself and his company. He demanded a quality product and was less interested about the company's bottom line.
Coming from the 30s background where people didn't want to waste a lot, you tried to preserve what you had and wasn't out. And I think he did that a lot with his municipal clients and drainage district clients too. He wasn't always looking for the big budget. How can we solve this problem and have it sustainable? A lot of the projects he did for these small towns, he promoted wastewater lagoons versus mechanical treatments, even though the profitability would be better from the engineering perspective to have a mechanical system. Long range was a lot less expensive for the community to operate and a lot less to break down and have problems with it from an operation maintenance standpoint, to have a more simple system. And he took pride in making things as simple and as logical and tied back into nature as much as possible.
Klingner served as engineer for the city of Quincy in the mid-1940s. But some of his favorite projects came from his 50 years as engineer for the Quincy Park District, where he worked on riverfront projects like Clyde Adams Park, Quincy Bay, and the Marina, Wavering Aquatic Center, softball fields, and other facilities. He was very interested in preserving Quincy's beautiful parks.
Well, he's kind of the last of the Renaissance, engineers, because anymore you have to specialize. There's so much in government regulations, so much you have to learn not only about the design functions, but also the requirements, the statutes and guidelines that you have to follow now. But in the 30s and 40s and 50s, you had a lot more freedom, and he enjoyed being able to work on these water and sewer projects. But again, I think the ones that he was most proud of was probably the riverfront park. Toward the end of his career, he really enjoyed working on those parks and the connection to the marina, and saw a lot of vision, a lot of possibilities, things that still haven't been built yet that he was scratching and drawing on for Quincy Island and connecting that park and Cedar Creek Linear Park, and those were things that he was working on 20, 30 years out in the future.
By 2004, Klingner and Associates had grown to nearly 80 employees with newly acquired branch offices in Hannibal, Galesburg, and Burlington.
His integrity as an engineer was something that I always admired. And I think he did a lot to pass on to his employees and his staff his engineering knowledge, and he was a good mentor. But I think above and beyond that, the most valuable thing that I learned from him was his unbendable honesty and integrity.
Klingner and his wife Belle had 7 children. He died in 1999 at age 87.